Yeah, we are live now. And we are starting our panel with top exchanges. So insight from top exchanges. And we are here with Lennix Live from OKEX, Eric Ma from BiONE, Chung from Huobi Group, and Jason Luo from BitForex. So Eric, you are moderator, so it's your turn. You have half an hour, so I think it's a really great discussion.
Okay. Hey, everyone. I'd like to thank Digital Week Online. Thank you, Ivan, and as well as Juliet for setting everything up. We only have half an hour, guys, so let's just get right to it. We got a lot to talk about in half an hour. So 2020, it's been quite the year. So I'd like to start off with Lennix, and we each take turns. Save time for the others to have time to respond as well. So for Lennix first, what are some challenges and opportunities you think that crypto exchanges face in 2020?
Yeah, I think crypto exchange will continually facing a relatively low volatility in regular month, and also maybe a volatility spike that will challenge the overall risk management system on overall crypto exchange in really short term, or maybe talking about 1 or 2 days. So you might still experience that Bitcoin price of the crypto will crash 20% plus in 10 minutes or 30% plus in 10 minutes in maybe on any single day in the market. And due to the fact that most of the exchange right now already add some sort of leverage capabilities, I think that's already will challenge the entire risk management system, not just the risk management rules, but also the risk limits or risk calculations, and also the latency of the internal system and how they handle liquidation orders. So I think but as a matter of fact, that the volatility overall will be relatively low. So exchange might make relatively few money in regular days, and you experience a huge loss if you don't manage your risk well, if that's a volatility spike. So I think volatility in uncertainty is still a challenging subject to most of the leverage exchanges.
Great. Yeah, definitely a challenge. It's always been a challenge. And I think, like you said, with the leverage tools and the risks, it's gotten even more serious. Do you see any opportunities, Lennix, for 2020 for exchanges?
Yeah, I think that would be a year of, because I would define 2019, 2018 will be kind of like the era of the beginning of crypto derivatives. So I would say 2020 will be even more on the era of the bespoke, the OTC type of derivatives. So I would talk about a little bit more maybe option products, and even on top of them, structural products or volatility products that might be already sufficiently mature to become something really big in other crypto exchange. You can see already happening on open interest on CME options and open interest on CME futures, and the volatility and the volume keep picking up on option markets. So once the option market is already some sort of mature, you will see naturally a volatility type of product, maybe a VIX futures or VIX products, very soon happening within 2020. So for the very first time, that trader can price and trade volatility with an appropriate or reasonable price in a very fairly managed market.
Great. All right. How about Jason? Let's go to the same question for Jason. What do you see as some challenges and opportunities for crypto exchanges in 2020 on the BitForex side?
Sure. Okay, so thank you, Julia, and thank you, Digital Week, to invite me to participate in this panel discussions. It's been an honor to be here. And as you can see, 2020, we have been facing a lot of difficulties to expand the market, even to maintain our current market positions. But due to the current global financial situations, I think that there maybe have a more chance for the crypto market. Firstly, it will become a destructive change on the global financial market. And in the same times, if we can have the if we can find the opportunities to expand the crypto market to implement on the traditional financial market, I think it will be a huge potential market we can reach on. And in the same, and for us, we are always focusing on the educations, and also we're trying to implement to increase the usage of the crypto token to the real life users. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, mainstream adoption, education seems to be a common goal for many exchanges. Thank you, Jason. And how about you, Chern? What do you see as some challenges and opportunities for crypto exchanges in 2020?
Right. Thank you, Eric. So just now, Lennix has made a very good explanation and description of what the challenges have been facing by all the exchanges based on the liquidity and also volatility. So I'm not going to touch further on that. But from our perspective, I think it has been the goal of most of the cryptocurrency community to try to open the doors to traditional and institutional players and traders for quite some time now. And we have been feeling the market and also the interest has been growing. And then I guess this is why we have also positioned our, our futures market to be the state of the art at high level. And we believe that this is the beginning of the wave for institutional traders. And based on the data that we have got in hand, and it shows that there's actually a single quarter shows of increase and the flurry of activities. I mean, even let's look at the news from traditional finance. And I mean, even recently we saw the famous hedge fund investors, Paul Tudor Jones. He states that he has put a conservative amount of Bitcoin to his portfolio. So, and he even believes that it will be his best performing asset. And yeah, I guess it is what the rest of the traditional marketplace will look like. So the COVID-19 impact the market and has people scrambling for alternative to trade and hedges against these issues. I guess this is where Bitcoin looks to be heading. And we would like to, as an exchange, would like to facilitate this market expansion. And I believe that crypto exchanges have to be ready and prepared. And then like for ourselves, I think we have the tools and we have the offering to do so. So we hope that more of what we can do and will be seen by those players, newcomers, investors who are still sitting in the dark and wondering what to do and wondering what cryptocurrency can do for them. So I do see that the opportunities are still there for 2020. Challenges have always been the same for crypto exchanges. So it's just how we adapt to it and how we get ourselves even more prepared with better offering. Yeah.
That's a great point. Adaptability is really key. Things change so quickly in crypto. All right, let's move on to the next question. So there are over 340 plus crypto exchanges listed on CoinMarketCap currently. And from a user's perspective, what do you think users are looking for when it comes to crypto exchanges? I'd like to start with Chern this time.
Okay. And right, indeed, exchanges are the primary means many digital currency users have to transact with tokens and also different currencies around the world. And it is the most popular, straightforward way of buying and selling digital assets. And for users, picking the right digital currency exchange can have a significant impact on the success of retaining a newcomers into the industry. So it's crucial for exchanges to offer a good experience. And then from the user perspective, I guess there's a few like key factors that they would need, they are looking forward to. From my perspective, I guess the primary will be the authenticity and also the security. And I guess in order to have a good trading experience, you need to choose a legitimate and also secure platform. And that's where how you could secure your asset safely. That's how actually we could convince more people to come into the space. And then the next thing is newcomers, I mean, users, some of the users, especially newcomers, they are still confused about the method of purchase. So they will need to do some research, like which exchange actually provide different kind of deposit method, bank transfer, PayPal, credit card, debit cards, or even OTC. And then other than that, some are still confusing, like where they can get this kind of different kind of token, different kind of supported token. I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum is like the most mainstream cryptocurrencies, but some investors, they might be interested in very specialized altcoin, which is only available in certain exchanges. So they will need to do the research. And then the type of the exchanges have to be also be cautious of, like some is P2P, centralized, decentralized, or even the prime brokerage. So you have to be clear, like which kind of platform you want to go for. And regarding the, how to say, the benefit of the users, the fee structure, like the transaction fees, all the kind of fees that's involved, withdrawal fees, and then also the speed of withdrawal, the speed of a deposit. Every exchanges are different. Yeah, they have different level of block approval. And then lastly will be the user interface and also user experience. This is what I personally really go for, because people have always been saying that blockchain industry, the product is not so friendly towards a new user. This is all about UI UX. So I guess this is what all crypto exchanges have been like striving to improve. And I believe that this will still, I mean, not this will still, this will be changed, and this will be improve in the next 6 months. I've been seeing a lot of crypto exchanges have already picked up this, and it has been more and more user friendly. And then, you know, everybody could just buy a cryptocurrency within seconds, within split seconds. Yeah.
Good point. You covered a lot there. I don't know if that leaves much for Jason. What do you think, Jason? Maybe you could also touch a little bit about what Chern talked about from a user's perspective, how they can research and find out, you know, which one is the right crypto exchange for them, as well as to what else they're looking for. Jason?
So I think the current change. Firstly,
Jason, your connection seems to be a little bit laggy. Start over, maybe. Okay, let's. Are you guys hearing them okay, Chern and Lennix?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, let's do that again. Sorry about that.
Users withdraw and post make the deposit.
Sorry, I'm not hearing Jason very well. Are you hearing him okay, Lennix?
Yeah, no, sorry, maybe some VPN issue on this side, I guess.
Yeah, I think you have some connection issues, Jason. Maybe you could log back out and then come back in. I'm gonna skip over to Lennix.
Yeah.
So our viewers can continue.
Yeah.
All right, Lennix, what do you think?
I think Chern's already
Regarding from a user's perspective.
cover a majority of features or things that everyone is working on crypto exchange. But I think as a user's perspective, I think they just came to exchange for seamless, easy experience, acquire crypto with fiat currency first, in whatever method. Another way is I need the best price and the best product to be tradable in a fairly managed market. And my crypto has to be secure by the exchange. So so I think that is already covered the basic ingredient and the core ingredient of the how user picking exchange. So the user will rank somehow the exchange. Hey, what is the best product? Best product to me is I got to be the product or the contract that fulfill my trading appetite and trading strategies. And you have the best price, and you have the best liquidity, and you have the best bid-ask spread that for me to pick. I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty basic stuff. Liquidity seems to come up a lot. User experience. What else do you think, Jason? Jason's back?
Yes. So
Okay.
right now my connection is better.
Better.
Okay, got it. So for our point, for the BitForex, I think the most important thing is the user's asset. We need to ensure on the security and what we can provide a very safe environment and very standard procedures to allow those users' asset to deposit with us or trade with us. This is the most important thing for us. And secondly, I think Chern was mentioned about it's a user-friendly product. Right now, a lot of the crypto exchange, they are making those procedures very complicated. That's why a lot of the non-crypto traders or those kind of like a newbie trader, yeah, maybe a lot of the people, they want to understand about the cryptocurrency. They want to participate, but they don't know how to participate. The procedure is extremely complicated. They don't know how to use a fiat money to purchase a cryptocurrency. They don't know how to use this cryptocurrency to create a real value of it. They don't know even which kind of project is suitable for them. So for us, firstly, is the security. Secondly, is we need to provide a user-friendly product, which is targeting on the global market. And the third, we need to do our research regarding which product, like altcoins or some and like any other product, is suitable for our user base, which means that we think this project is able to create real value to the market. And the fourth one, I think we need to provide a different type of the product of crypto financial tools for the user to use, able to let them to choose which kind of strategy is suitable for them. For example, some of them, they are willing to invest and hold. Maybe they will go to the spot trading or some like asset management. But some of them, they are able to have a higher risk control level. Maybe they will go to derivative. So we need to provide this kind of different type combination product to allow a different kind of habits trader able to join us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great summary. Pretty much touched on some of the things the Lennix and Chern also said. Great summary of that. All right, so don't have that much time left, about 10 minutes. I'd like to move on to the next question. It's a little bit more technical. So there's the Financial Action Task Force, which suggested the R16 rule, the travel rule compliance, which is basically a anti-money laundering rule, which basically states that exchanges ought to transfer information on the users to each other so that they know where the funds are coming from and who's transferring these funds. What are your suggestions for exchanges on the FATF's R16 travel rule compliance? I'd like to start with Lennix first on this one.
Yeah, I think the travel rule, despite the fact that serving the purpose of AML and KYC requirement just in any other requirements imposed by FATF. But the thing is, the major difference here is KYC or AML is basically internal company procedures. We basically need to identify customer identity and monitor their kind of like the behavior. That's fine. That's sufficient. That's already been great. That's working along in FI financial institution already. But the travel rule require an exchange to kind of like require to identify who is actually sending and who is actually receiving at the same time on the asset itself. So it's not just me or the exchange can impose, it requires two parties to collaborate. So despite the fact that right now it's still a non-binding guidance for countries who would have a virtual assets service provider, but if it requires two parties collaborate, I think we do need a lot more communications within the industry, so that, or maybe imposed by the government, that if you need some sort of a sandbox requirement or registration type of licensing, you have to comply at least a minimum level of travel rule. So if one or two parties already engaged, so they can naturally extend to other two parties and more parties. That's very different than the existing KYC and AML requirement, because that involve some amendment adjustment to our current system as well, because we need to identify and need to send the information to the other side. That might be some technical difficulties, as long as an industrial-wide collaboration or difficulty as well.
Yeah, definitely requires a teamwork and kind of within the industry. So let's go over to Chern, see what you think about that, Chern.
Yeah, I mean, travel rules is quite a long-standing requirement for international banks when it comes to sending each other money on customers' behalf. So some argue that it would be almost like not possible to put into practice with crypto, and it's harmful for user privacy, and it's actually against the value of cryptocurrency, against the value of the blockchain, and it's counterproductive to law enforcement goals. But well, I mean, as the space is getting more regulated and it's an exchange where cross-border transactions happen almost like every single second. So we are foreseeing this is going to happen sooner or later. And I mean, from Huobi perspective, I guess we are prepared to embrace, but of course, there will be quite some difficulty and challenges, as what Lennix has mentioned. This is not just about identifying the customers. This is what we have already been doing, because I believe most of the exchanges, let's take Huobi as an example. I mean, we're regulated from Gibraltar perspective, Japan. So we are used to doing KYC and AML, but now the problem is to have cross parties, like inter-parties collaboration, identifying your users and our users at the same time, and then having this big scale collaboration will be one of the main, I wouldn't say obstacle, but one of the main challenge that has to be addressed, and that is not being kind of like identified by the FATF themselves, because they don't see this coming. Yeah.
Good point, Chern. What about you, Jason? Anything follow up on that?
Okay, so I think to comply on these travel rules, I think firstly we need to find a right spot to embrace the compliance, and secondly, to be honest, because we are targeting on the global market, so on the KYC and AML issues, I think we need to closely work with those like water team or those like third parties able to provide us this kind of service, so we are able to easily to implement this kind of easy to comply with these requirements. Yeah, so maybe it will become like a new industry for the market.
Yeah, there's definitely been third parties who offer this kind of service. There's also discussions and a lot of work being done in the open VASP kind of areas. So right now, there's no really standardization for the development of this travel rule within the crypto industry. So that's constantly being worked on. So still have a lot of work there to do. And our time's almost up, so maybe we can have about a minute each about some exciting upcoming plans for your exchange that you'd like people to know about. I'll start with Chern this time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick one. So our main focus this year is on the institutional and global market, and Huobi has been expanding globally over the last year, and we plan to double down on the strategy through to 2020 and beyond. So this means that you will be seeing more localized exchanges from us, more fiat gateway from us in the near future, and both in emerging and also on developed market. And we are keeping true to our brand mission of bringing financial inclusion and also access to digital assets to everyone. So with internet access, regardless where they are. And yeah, that will be our focus next year. Not next year, this year, 2020.
Great. Thank you, Chern. How about Lennix? What's going on over?
Yeah, I think we're
at
we are particularly exciting that we solve a big technological challenge on OKEX matching engine. So you will see the system will be substantially improved, like 10 times in terms of robustness and stability and latency. And also we will be also very excited that we also solve a kind of like a product design challenge on portfolio margin. So for the very first time within this year, I think OKEX user can maybe even 2 or 3 times improve in terms of their capital utilizations across all the OKEX products. So I think it eventually benefits to the users.
Great. A lot of infrastructure stuff there. How about you, Jason?
Okay. So I think this we will be more focusing on the educations and trading platforms because we want to create more interactions between the crypto traders and the market, all those like professional traders. And in the same times, we are trying to create a more usage environment to the crypto market between the project party and the user, also the traders. Yeah.
Great. Sounds like a lot more mainstream adoption there. So covering all fronts here. Yeah, great discussion, guys. That was quick. 30 minutes just passed, and we covered it all. And I like to hand the microphone back to Ivan. You still there, Ivan?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, guys. So great insights from top exchanges, and so I do believe it's very valuable for our audience. Thank you for participating, and thank you for support. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Digital Week. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.